In this tutorial, I'm going to review the contents of the image toolbar here. While I'm using the IRSA viewer for this example, all of the other IRSA tools with the same look and feel also have an image toolbar with the same functionality. In general, if you look to the right here, as you move your mouse over the icons, it tells you what the icon does. If you let your mouse hover, it gives a pop-up right next to the mouse that tells you what that tool does. You can also click on the context-sensitive help markers, the little question marks with the circle, and drops you into the online help with help relevant to what you're looking at, in this case, the image toolbar. Now, first what you need to do is make sure the image you want to manipulate is highlighted. In this case, I have many images loaded, but I'm going to be working with this one. Click to select, and it's outlined in orange. This controls whether you're looking at one image at a time, all the images you have loaded as tiles, or a list of the images that you have loaded. This is a Firefly table, so you can use this table to sort and filter the images you have loaded. Let's look at one image at a time. Starting on the left, we have a diskette icon. If you click on that, you get a pop-up. From here, you can save the FITS file that you're looking at, that is, the original data. You can save the PNG file, which is the image you're looking at with that stretch and color table you've selected with the overlays that you have on top. You can also save just the overlays as a DS9 region file. This seems silly right now, but it will make more sense once we have more layers added to the image. You can save it to your local disk, or you can save it to your portion of the IRSA workspace. Now, this zooms in, this zooms out, this zooms so that 1 pixel in the image matches 1 pixel in your display. That zooms out so that the whole image fits in your window. This zooms in so that the left-right dimensions of the image matches the left-right dimensions of your window. You can also change the color table. It comes up by default in grayscale, but you can choose any number of additional color scales to enhance whatever details you're seeking to find in the image. You can also change the color stretch. You can choose from the predefined stretches that are available, or you can use the color stretch option, and it gives you a histogram of the values found in the image, and you can change the stretch interactively there. To apply whatever you've selected, click refresh. This will rotate the image by any arbitrary angle in degrees. If you click on this icon or on this one, it rotates so that north is up. This swaps the image on the y-axis, in other words, left and right. This centers the image on any of a variety of targets. You can center on the target that you asked for. You can center the image on the center of the image, or you can center on a specific location that you enter in here in RA and Deck. You can simply go to that location, or you can go and put a marker at that location. Pan by table row is not available right now because I don't have any catalogs loaded. But if I do have catalogs loaded, then that option will slew the image such that the row that you've selected in the catalog is centered in the image view. You also can simply click and drag to move the image around. Up in the right-hand corner, you can see the portion of the image that's displayed, and you can also see a zoom in under the cursor as well as information about that pixel. The selection tool is pretty powerful. You have a choice of a rectangular selection or an elliptical selection. Once you pick a shape, then you can click and drag in the image to select a region. Now additional options have appeared here in the upper left. You can crop the image down to just include the area you've selected. You can get statistics on the area that you've selected. So in the units that the image is in, you can get the mean, the standard deviation, and the integrated flux over the region you have selected. It will also give you the minimum, maximum, aperture centroid, and flux weighted centroid. As I move my mouse over this table, you can see X's appear on the image at the location of the minimum, the maximum, the aperture centroid, and the flux weighted centroid. This will zoom in so as to fit the selected area on the screen, and this will recenter the image to center on the selected area. The next option is a ruler. Click on that icon, and then you can click and drag in the image to measure distances between 2 points. If you go to the layers icon here, it shows you all the layers that we have superimposed on the image so far. You can tell it that you want the distance tool to give you offsets in RA and Deck, or in units of degrees, arc minutes, or arc seconds. You can also change the color of the overlay. I'm going to leave the layers pop-up open because we're going to add some additional layers to this image. This option is to add a marker to the image. The first one by default is just a simple circle, but there are lots of additional footprint options. For example, Spitzer footprints, Sophia footprints, HST footprints, GWST footprints, and WFirst footprints. Note that some of them are rather small, but some of them are rather large, and so if you place a WFirst footprint on your image, you may need to zoom out a long way before you can find the edges of it. Using the layers pop-up, you can also change the text that accompanies the marker. You can also add a compass rose or a coordinate system. If you want to change the units of the coordinate system, you can do so in the pop-up. You can also overlay your own DS9 regions file from your disk. This is the layers pop-up again. This one restores everything back to the defaults. These two are relatively new. This one locks all of the images you have loaded together for color changes and for overlays. There are situations in which you want all the images to have the same color table, and there are situations in which you don't want all the images to have the same overlay. This one aligns the images that you have loaded. You can align them just once by WCS, that is RA and DEC, by the target you've requested, by the pixel origin of the coordinate system, or the image center by pixel. You can also align and lock them, so you can load all the images in that you want and then lock them to each other by WCS, or by the target that you've requested, or by the origin of the pixel coordinate system, or the image centers. This icon gives you a pop-up with the fits header. This is a Firefly table so that you can sort or filter down the keywords to find what you want. For additional help, don't forget there's online help in addition to lots of other videos in this YouTube feed.